What will be told shortly is based on a real-life event. Put on your headphones and let yourself be carried away by the story. I was in middle school, studying in a town quite far from the city center. But our house was very far from the town. Mornings weren't a problem, but sometimes people were scared when returning in the evening. It took about half an hour to walk from my house to my school. But the place we lived in was surrounded by people we knew, and I had a friend who went to school with me. It was another weekday evening, and school was over, so we set off for home. School ended in the late afternoon, but by the time we reached the road leading to our house, it was usually dark. We were walking. Everything was normal. There were 2 or 3 of us. One of our friends lived closer to school than we did. After walking about 2 miles, he turned off toward his house. He left us. My friend Oliver and I stayed together. We were used to walking this way together every day. Oliver's house was about 1 or 2 miles before mine. After leaving him, I would walk another mile or 2 and get home. That day, Oliver suggested we take the forest path. Even though I said it might be dangerous, he convinced me. We turned onto the forest path, which would save us about 10 minutes. It was a shortcut, but it was pitch black. You couldn't see anything, and it was also very scary. There were already a lot of rumors in our neighborhood. Oliver said to stay calm, catch our breath a little, close our eyes, and start running. I suggested we shout to each other occasionally so we wouldn't lose each other and get too far apart. We entered the forest and started running. It was so dark that even with my eyes open, it was like they were closed. I couldn't see anything. I could only hear Oliver's footsteps and a slight wind sound. Running through the forest generally took between 5 and 10 minutes. If we paused occasionally, it would take 10 minutes, and we would come out onto the main road again in an area very close to the houses. That day, it took much longer. I looked at my watch and realized we had been in the forest for about 7 minutes. I was still tired, but I kept running. I called out to Oliver, but I couldn't hear his voice. I sped up even more, thinking that since I couldn't see him, I might have turned the wrong way and was wandering around. After a while, I spotted the main road. I stopped there, caught my breath, and shouted Oliver's name again. If he had been on the road, he should have heard me. The distance didn't seem that far. But I got no response. I started looking around with narrowed eyes, my eyes searching for Oliver. I ran to the main road and realized I had come quite a distance when I got there. I had even passed my own house. I walked back. When I got to my house, my mind was still on Oliver, wondering if his mind was on me too. Instead of going inside, I continued walking towards Oliver's house. When I got to Oliver's house, I took a breath when I saw Oliver's muddy shoes. I knocked on the door. Oliver opened it and immediately got angry at me. "Where were you? I waited for you for maybe 10 minutes. I explained that I had gone too far and didn't know how I had lost my way, and I set off again towards my house. Oliver's house was a couple of miles away from ours. I was walking at a fast pace. The road to our house goes downhill, but when you turn onto that road, there's also a hill on the left that leads to a large forest. It looked like a rock was rolling down that hill. I couldn't believe my eyes at first. Then I wiped my eyes and looked again. It was definitely rolling down, a huge rock. I started running towards the house. The rock was coming down very fast. Every now and then I turned around and saw that it was a huge rock. I can't describe its size, but it was too big to fit on the road. When I reached the door of the house, I pounded on it like a madman. As soon as my mom opened the door, I threw myself inside. Our house was an old two-story building. Most of my family was upstairs at that moment, naturally. My mom asked what was wrong, but then I noticed something. I couldn't speak. My tongue felt tied. I could make sounds, but I couldn't form sentences. My dad came, and seeing this, wanted to take me to someone who knew about these things. The old man we went to saw that the rock I saw wasn't a rock, and explained that most of what I experienced was shown to me by a different being. I wasn't someone who believed in these kinds of things, but my family did. The man said a few prayers, gave me some water, and asked me to drink it. I drank it. We left there, came home, and I didn't go to school for about a month. It was the end of the season anyway, and there were only 20 days left before school closed. It took me about a year and a half to start talking. At first, I stuttered, but then I was able to start speaking properly. Maybe 10 years have passed since that incident, but I